We'll begin with just one sound of the bell. Resting your attention on the inflow and the outflow of the breath. Just allow the breath to have its own rhythm, no need to change or fix. One inhale might be a little deeper, and the next might be a little more shallow. One exhale might be longer, and the next might be a little shorter. So again, just let the breath be. If there's another object of meditation that you prefer, feel free to rest your attention on that. Such as sounds or sensations. For the next 5 breaths, let's maintain our awareness of our anchor, the breath, sounds, sensations. Just this and just now. And you may have already noticed that in just the space of 5 breaths, the mind has wandered into a memory or an imagining. Maybe you heard words in the mind or saw pictures. So now we're going to turn our attention towards these thoughts as they arise, and we're going to note the kind of thinking. Is it remembering? Is it imagining? Craving? Judging? But as we note these kinds of thoughts, It's going to be like a whisper in the mind, very gentle, not harsh, not blaming. If we notice we're blaming, we can label that blaming. So let's try that for the next few breaths. Whenever a thought comes up, noting the kind of thought that it is. Could be planning, anticipating, relishing. And if there are no thoughts, note that as well. A funny thing can happen when we're inviting thoughts in. Sometimes they stay quiet. But if the mind is busy with thinking, we continue to note the kinds of thoughts. Remembering, judging, noting with a whisper in the mind, very gentle. You might notice that it's the same thing over and over again, that the mind returns again and again to this memory, this conversation, this decision, this plan. We can note that. Planning, planning, planning. Underneath the thinking, there is the gentle wave of the breath rising and falling. So when the planning ceases, when the remembering stops, you can notice the breath rising and falling until the next thought comes along, and then noting that with gentle receptivity, no judgment, no harshness, no condemnation. A gentle bow in the mind, planning, planning, worrying, worrying. As we often do in our practice, we can try smiling to whatever we notice, whatever kind of thinking is happening in the mind. Oh, it's my old friend worrying. My old friend judging mind. You're back again. As we practice, we take that step back from the content of the thought, the story, and just note the kind of thinking. As we take that step back, we're creating a little distance, seeing the thought as a thought. Resting in the pauses between the thoughts.